my office here in Los Angeles. My
You like
crazy,
it. You love the colors.
my crazy colored office.
Do you have a name for your office?
The energy, no, the energy awareness center, something like that.
That's a good one. Or
That's nice.
high vibe center, something.
High vibe.
That
That's
would be
right. That's
nice.
right. High vibe central. That's what I'll call it. High vibe central. Let me preface this by setting up the situation. We come into this world unprotected. So when we're born into this world as a little baby, we're helpless little babies. And even though we grow and we get stronger and we get taller, we still are unprotected emotionally from harshness, the negativity, the energies of this world that are harmful. So no one ever teaches us how to deal with rejection or with no, or with people being mean to us or people bullying us or disappointment. All of these are all things we never were taught how to deal with it. Now, later on, you get people saying, well, think positive, or don't let it bother you, or it's no big deal. As I'm going to explain to you, it is a big deal. So that's setting the stage here. If you look at why humans are unhappy, is because we're dealing with these experiences that we were brought up with, whether it's we had challenges or trouble from our parents or growing up, or the kids at school, or somebody abused us, or we were disappointed. All of these things, that this kind of what I call energy or emotions, we were never taught on how to deal with this. So when everybody's happy and everybody's positive, there's no problem. Humans don't have a problem. It's dealing with this category of emotions and energies that we have challenges with. And we have challenges with throughout our lives because it affects us, as I'm going to explain to you today. It affects us up into and through adulthood. This is the setting the stage. How do we deal with it? So that's the question I want to answer here tonight. How do we deal with it? That wraps it up, everybody. So I hope you had a great time, and thanks for coming. Oh, you missed it.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. We were talking about how long you been off the call? A couple of minutes? Did you hear anything?
It's been a minute. Yeah, just a minute.
Just a minute. Okay, great. Okay, so we're setting up the scenario is, what are the problems that human beings have? The problems that we have are dealing with negativity and dealing with difficult emotions that we were never taught how to deal with. And not to deal with this, we bring it into our adult lives. I recognize that in myself, that I had some memories, I had some abuse, I had things inside me, negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative memories of growing up, of different things that happened to me that were still affecting me, that weren't just one-time memories, but those things were still alive in my thoughts, in my emotions, in my behavior. And I thought, wow, this stuff is still in me. In my house growing up, I had a lot of love and a good mom and dad, but they fought a lot. And my house was a war zone for a long time. And I thought, I got to get out of there, get out of that energy, that space. Well, even though I left the house, the energy didn't leave me. And I took it with me. And for many years, I thought, how do I deal with these troublesome thoughts? How do I deal with these dark emotions? Well, I don't like the way I feel inside. And I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to think positive, but there's still this thing that's having an effect on me. And I didn't even know what it was. So I went through the whole personal development industry for the past 25 years, because I started right out of college. Actually, in college, I started it. And just taking seminar after seminar, book after book after book. I've got, in the house, I have a library of over 500 books on how to improve your life. And they're all good. And then once I put one down, then I picked up another one and another one and another one. and another seminar and another self-improvement. And I became an expert in the personal development field on different techniques and different strategies and different philosophies on how to deal with this stuff. But I never got rid of it. All of these books and courses taught me how to live with it, how to deal with it. But it never taught me on how to get rid of it, how to dissolve it, how to release it. Recently, in the past, even though I've been doing healing work here for many years, I discovered energy awareness training and energy medicine and energy psychology in the work I'm doing now about 10 years ago. And it was then that all the pieces came together, and I was able to learn how to dissolve, how to deal with troubling thoughts, emotions, anxiety, stress, worry as an energy, and to get rid of it, not to put up with it, but to get rid of it, and to be able to have the peace and the calmness and the power that I've always wanted. And once I was able to do that for myself, then I started helping other people, and this just started a snowball effect. I wasn't even doing it for a living, but I was helping people, and then people got such results because people are hungering for change. And change is very difficult, as I'm going to explain to you today. Change is very difficult because we have forces inside us that want us to change, and we have forces inside us that don't want us to change, that want us to stay the same or get worse. So with all the teachings out there, there's so many coaches and so many philosophies out there, what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a blueprint for how this world works and how we can take this blueprint and apply it into our lives in a step-by-step training. So instead of just having to remember 400, think positive, create your vision, don't let anything stop you, all these platitudes and stuff, I wanted to create a system that I could teach people and ultimately the world and kids, so that you don't come into this world unprotected. So as a child learns about life and starts growing in his emotions and his behaviors and his thoughts, he or she are taught how to deal with these emotions, these energies inside them, and to be able to process them to stay healthy throughout their whole lives, so that you just won't. Most of us are just stress and trauma accumulators. That's what we've done through our life. We just acquire stress and traumatic memories and stuff that's happened to us, and we don't know how to deal with it, so we just keep it inside. And that's the biggest challenge for human beings today, how to stay happy. So that brings us up to, what exactly do I do? And I recognized from my experience, also what was downloaded to me from above, wherever and whatever above is, to give me a realization to be able to see things in a different way, but in a powerful way where everything comes together. We don't understand about why are people unhappy? Why did things happen to us that we didn't want to have happen? Why didn't things happen that we wanted to have happen? Where does the coronavirus come from? Why are people fighting in our country? I mean, so much doesn't make sense in this world. And we're walking around like, how do things work? What's it all about? Well, Nikola Tesla, one of the wisest men who ever lived and the smartest guys who ever lived, said, if you really want to understand the mysteries of life, then you'll start to look at all of life as energy, frequency, and vibration. So what he's saying is that everything we're dealing with is energy. Now, you may have heard that in your science class. I heard that in my high school science class. The professor says, everything is energy in this world. People, places, it's an energetic planet. And I'm like, well, that's great. What does that have to do with me and, getting the girl, making money? Right. Glad everything's energy. I'll remember that for the test. Tesla was on to something because what he was saying was everything that we're dealing with in this planet has a code, has a frequency to it. So much of life is a mystery, why people behave the way they think, why things happen, etc. But all of those things, if you really understand energy, have a code to it, have a frequency, have a signature. So I came along and said, not only does energy have a frequency and a vibration, but it also has a power, a purpose, a direction, an intelligence, and it gives off information. So everything that we're dealing with, people, places, things, everything has a code to it. And I figured out what that code was so you can know if something's good for you or not good for you. If you're going to make a decision about something, if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. So this is why I call my work energy awareness, because if you're aware of the energy around people, places, and things, you can know where that's going. So if you're going to get into a relationship with someone, you want to know if it's going to work out, right? You want to wait 2 years down the road and go, oh, I should have known. No, you want to know before you get involved. Okay. So the way that you can do that is you read energy. You want to know if a job you're going to take, if that's good for you, or a business partner or an employee is going to work out. Now, most of the time, what do we use to figure that out? Logic, right? We use our logic and we use reason. If it's reasonable, if it's logical, that's the way that we make our decisions. But so much of the logical, you ever made a decision that it made perfect sense and it was logical and linear and it was the reasonable thing to do and it turned out to be the wrong thing?
Exactly. It happens often.
Yeah. And that's the quality of our life is the quality of our decisions. There were things that you didn't see. It's so true in relationships. You get in a relationship with someone, like a romantic one. And in the beginning, it's great. And you think, well, it's an attractive person. They seem nice. It seems to be good. Okay. And you dive in and you get involved here. And then it's good for a while. And then down the road, it turns bad or it turns negative or they change or you change. And you're going, hey, I didn't sign up for this. I'm miserable. I didn't get into this to be miserable. I wanted to be happy. So you get out of it, and then you go through heartbreak or you go through misery, to try to get out of that situation. And you say, if only I had known then what I know now, I never would have done it. Right? We've all said it. If only I had known then what I know now. Well, I say, well, why didn't you know then? Have you ever done something and you go, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway. Or you say, I had a voice that was telling me, don't do it. And I didn't listen. Well, why didn't you listen? You didn't listen because you weren't energetically aware. You weren't aware of the frequencies that are in this world that are trying to help you and trying to hurt you at the same time. So this is what energy awareness does. It has you be aware of how the dynamics work in this world. So here we are, we're trying to navigate this world and trying to do what's best for us. Well, what nobody told us is that we're living in an energetic planet, and energy is constantly has a cycle. It's moving. So just like the day, do you notice there's a different energy? Like it's 8 o'clock in the morning, your first thing in the morning, you feel brand new. It's a new day. You're excited about the future. You're positive. But noontime comes and it's lunchtime or 1 o'clock. You notice there's a different energy at noon or 1 o'clock than there was from 6 o'clock. And then you notice late afternoon, mid-afternoon, 6, that's a different energy than noontime. And then you notice the evening time. So what that shows is that there are cycles that are constantly changing. And we're constantly changing from different energy to different energy. Now, if you don't know that, if you think that it's always going to be morning all the time and you're going to go, hey, well, why is it getting dark? I want it to be morning. What's going on? You're going to have a problem. Well, we always think, oh, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be rosy. We're always going to go up, 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 up. But that's not the way this planet works, because in the energy rotation, things go up, things go down, things go left, things go right.